Let's start off with build quality. Both of these are built like a tank. They're both solid, super sturdy, they have an excellent water resistant rating, and they continue to share that iconic action camera look. But I have to give the edge for the Hero 12 Black, all due to the fact that you could swap the lens, which means you could swap these with ND filters or even replace the lens entirely in case you crack it. Hold on, I need to pause it right there because upon research, Insta360 actually is offering a replacement lens program in case you do manage to somehow crack your lens on your action camera. I thought that was pretty interesting that they responded due to this criticism not having a removable lens. So good on Insta360 for listening. However, where the all-new Insta360 Ace does shine is its quick release capability to quickly be removed off a mount and placed on another one in a matter of seconds. Meanwhile, the GoPro, you still have to fiddle with the old school method by unscrewing one of these things just to move it around from attachments to attachments. But both of these two things is a pro and a con, because with the Insta360 Ace Pro is if you forget this and you travel with this and you accidentally forget to bring this, well, you have to MacGyver something up with duct tape if you want to mount this on to something. But you can also purchase some of these things separately, so always have one available in case you do forget it. Again, it's something you have to remember to do. Meanwhile, the GoPro Hero 12 Black uses this flip, remove out of its way, bottom portion right here. So if you do travel with this thing and you do accidentally forget your mount, it just pops up like so. It's always attached with the camera. So again, both have its pros and cons right there. But personally, I do prefer this quick release though when it comes to situations where I just want to switch between one device to the other instead of having to fiddle with this every single time. Now I did put together this rig right here, and this allowed me to capture side-by-side imaging of each camera during any situation. So as you see right here, when it comes to overall stability, I have to give it to the Acer Pro. I noticed it's much more stable than the GoPro, which is crazy due to the fact that GoPro from the past, its image stabilization has always been revolutionary, but now it's actually easily getting beat by the Acer, I feel like. And this is all thanks to its AI technology that it has. You see, the Acer Pro is the only action camera available in the market, and the first one, from my understanding, that actually has built-in AI. And due to this, the AI run all the correct camera settings for all the scenarios, and because of this, it's able to deliver some fantastic low light capturing in low light situations when filming indoors or outdoors at night. The GoPro always struggled with this. Now, another factor to take in consideration when it comes to these low light situations is the sensors that each camera is using. You see, the Hero 12 Black is using a 1:1 camera sensor, which does, again, an excellent job when it comes to outdoor filming, but when it comes to indoors, this is when this camera tends to struggle. The Acer Pro is the camera that I like for all purposes, not just action camera needs, all thanks to its 1:3 size sensor. Thanks to this larger sensor, it's able to capture more data and much more accurate color accuracy. And now when it comes to microphone quality, this is how it sounds like with the Insta360 Ace Pro. And then this is how it sounds like with the GoPro 12 Black. To me, they both sound fantastic and doable, but let me know in the comments, what do you think? Now, both of these two cameras both have a front and rear display. And although the GoPro is the only one that actually has a color LCD display, I personally prefer the Acer capability over this due to the fact that the screen can pop up. Thanks to this allows me to capture unique angles like this more easier than it is when I'm using the GoPro. And if you're worried about the screen accidentally popping up, if you're doing some epic stunts like snowboarding and stuff, don't worry, because this all does lock automatically. Just however, with the GoPro, just like my recent complaint I had was this thing, is most of the unique features is all behind a paid subscription, a paid wall basically, that you have to subscribe to utilize the cloud highlight capabilities and so much more. Meanwhile, the Insta360, its app is loaded with a bunch of unique features, and they throw all this all for free. So long as you own the hardware, you could easily pair it on their app and have access to all these amazing effects you could select from. And one of my most favorite ones is the new AI warp capability, where you can simply select a subject and it will just AI the video for you, as you're seeing right here. This is super trippy, and it's crazy to me that this is free because there's softwares out there, programs, web browsers that will actually charge a pretty penny just to deliver this amazing AI effect. And the Insta360 does it all for free. And then another beauty about the Acer Pro is the fact that it uses AI for other things like AI highlights. This will allow the camera to automatically highlight all the cool action stuff, allowing you to free up storage space on your SD card. Meanwhile, the GoPro, they have a similar feature like this, but again, requires you to have that subscription for it to be uploaded to the cloud and highlighted that way. Or you can manually do it. Now, both these two cameras do support vocal commands, so you can tell the GoPro to record. Same goes for the Insta360. But thanks once again to that AI capability, it also supports gestures, as you can use simple hand movements to control your camera wirelessly instead of verbally requesting it to do something. Now let's go ahead and jump behind the camera and actually talk about the features that each camera can deliver hands-on. So here we go. This is my favorite part of the video. So let's power it on. Simple power button, simple tap will turn it on. You can also just press record and it'll immediately turn on the camera this way as well. But a cool thing about this is when you hit record, now let's say for example, we don't want this clip. We just want this, just get rid of it. But instead of just hitting the record button again, the Action Pro, or Ace Pro, I'm sorry, you can actually long hold the record button and it will allow you to cancel the recording so it doesn't even store anything on that SD card. And more about this quick release mount. So this is magnetically attaches, but you do have to press down until you hear that satisfying lock. Now you know this thing is on good, and just I'm trying to break it off and it's not going to go anywhere so long as you have that click. And it also displays where the camera sensor is supposed to be placed so you can properly line this attachment on. So it's not both sides. It has to be a certain side for it to lock on and secure properly, and it does attach magnetically. Now this sensor can actually record 8K, and you can find the settings right here if I tap on. Well, right now I have it on the AI Pure, but if I move it to just standard video, go resolution, it does support 8K recording of 24, but I find again all my best video results are always around 4K 30 or 4K 60. But if you like to do slow motion, it does support 120. Aspect ratio, you can always change it here, but you do have the freedom to always go back and change it if you do free frame video recording, as I'll show you like landscape and portrait mode right here, landscape, portrait, or you could just remove it all entirely. But this is a cool rule of third for all platforms, YouTube and TikTok style platforms. You also have the AI highlights right here illuminating. Warp, you do have these different warp effects you could utilize when it comes to action cameras. Then of course you have your timer right here. And then down here you do have the control center, voice command, gesture control, AI, pre-record. You can enable pre-record so it will constantly record the last 15 seconds. So if you miss an action and you're like crap and you hit record, well, you missed that action. But if you enable this pre-record, this allows the camera to constantly pre-record at least 15 seconds. But this does use up more battery life. But this is one of my favorite features about Insta360 cameras in general. But in terms of ports, if we open this up, this is where your battery is located, not the SD card. Your SD card is located over here, which I prefer because the charging port is also located right here. Just this does not come off. Same goes for the battery. You cannot run this with the battery open, but you can run this with the power with a USB-C cable connected to it. LCD display right here shows you the mode you're in, the recording, and how much time you have remaining on your SD card, as well as the battery life percentage, but that's basically it. Of course, you got screen adjust brightness right here. You can lock screen. You could disable sound feedback. You could indicate your LED lights. You could connect AirPods to control it that way, and of course, you have your general settings as well. And a neat thing I nearly forgot to mention is whenever you hit record and you end that recording, this is one of the only few cameras I could think of that has this capability where I could actually view my video library. But on some of my previous clips, I could hit the record right here and I could continue recording on that video. So I could continue adding stuff to existing videos. This is freaking awesome. But now let's talk about the Hero 12. Here's the Hero 12 in its glory. But real quick, I do want to say one thing about the Hero 12 when comparing it with the Insta360 is it is slightly smaller, as well as slightly lighter as well. But regardless, they're not too far apart from each other, and the screen is also slightly smaller. And when it comes to the charging port, it does come off. You can actually remove the lid. This will expose your battery, your SD card, and your charger. It's all put together. Whenever I'm recording with this portion off and I have it plugged into power, I'm always concerned that the battery will fall off. But in terms of settings, like resolution wise, if we click on video, this camera can film up to 5.3K, and you can select 24 FPS to 60, and it's only in 2K, where it can actually go all the way down to 240 FPS. But you do have more lens size to select from on the GoPro, and I always prefer leaving it on auto boost to save battery life as much as possible. But you could create as many profiles as you want for your video settings on the go. In terms of modes, again, time-lapse, video, photo. The Ace Pro also has this capability. And here's your control center. And then the LCD display, you can either show the preview in the front or just show the number in the back, as you can select it right here. So if I hit enter right now and I get out of the dashboard, allow it to process, we see a full color display of ourselves right in this front screen. So although it doesn't have a flip screen, you do have this, but sometimes when you're looking down like this, you really can't see yourself or the subject when you position yourself in a weird angle, which is why I personally prefer rocking number data instead. And then over here, Pro Controls, for some reason, DJI always puts it on easy by default, which kind of irritates me, because if we go back in the easy mode and we switch to video, notice how it doesn't say the resolution, it just simplifies it as simple as possible. High quality, standard quality, and basic quality. We need to go to Pro just to see the specs on video that we actually are shooting. And something I almost forgot to mention about the Insta360 is when you're recording at 4K, if we switch to video, you could actually continue that 4K zoom if you really need to. So there you guys have it. That is the honest comparison between the all-new GoPro Hero 12 against the Acer Pro from Insta360. Hopefully you found this video informative and helpful. If you did, leave this video a like and subscribe. But if you'd like to know my genuine thoughts about this, I'm actually genuinely surprised with the Acer Pro, as this now became my actual go-to camera for shooting on the go. Because previously I used to always just record off my phone whenever I'm indoors or something like that. But most of the time I see myself just grabbing this camera instead and shooting it out directly from this. Here's some footage I captured from CES. Once again, all thanks to that pure AI feature that it has, this allows me to capture some amazing footage no matter where I'm going. As I'm not worried like I used to be with my GoPros. In low light situations, I always expect the image to come out looking terrible. This one, no, all the footage that's been capturing always comes out looking usable when it comes to producing videos on the go. So there you guys have it. Those are my thoughts. I'll be sure to include links to both of these two cameras in the video description down below, as well as other accessories. But let me hear from you guys. If you have the time to, let me know in the comment section, what do you think about these two cameras? Which one did you decide to go for and why? Anywho, thank you so much for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one.